1969. Nice. Nissan introduced the first Z car, and they call it the Fairlady Z in Japan and the 240Z or the Datsun 240Z in the US. The Japanese automaker actually wants to introduce an affordable sports car in the US market. You know, para mapasok nila yung US market. And at that time, sobrang patok ng mga hot rods, muscle cars, and they wanted to do something new. Smaller cars that are economical as well as sporty. Little did they know, that car will actually be a legend, an icon even. Now it has come to this, the Nissan 370Z. Not the ordinary one, the 370Z Nismo. My name is Jacob Oliva, the content manager of Philkotse.com. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tandaan, Philkotse is the #1 car portal in the Philippines. Up front, the Nissan 370Z stays true to the heritage of the Fairlady Z sports car. It's just that this generation and the previous one, the 350Z, medyo naiba sila with the circular headlights, and this one and the current one has more character. Actually, alam niyo yung Juke? It was actually derived from this car. Kaya siguro gustong-gusto ko yung auto na yun. Well, ako lang yun. I know a lot of people hate that car. Let's go to the specifics. Now, you have lines that go all the way down here, down to this Nismo badging that will cost you more than ₱1,000,000, but more than that later. Now, the package, the Nismo package, comes with these red accents that complement the white paint. But imagine this car in gray. Gorgeous. Now you have LED DRLs here and vertical vents that are actually fake. Sorry for that. But there's a bit of an old school factor here up front, which are the headlights. Now, modern cars these days have LEDs, but Nissan resolved using HIDs for the 370Z. Hindi naman siya masama kasi okay pa rin naman siya sa gabi. Now, for my favorite part of the car up front, well, this, the fenders. Well, pag tinignan mo siya sa harap, ang lapad niya and muscular. Parang di papatibag. Nice. Nga pala, alam niyo ba ibig sabihin ng Nismo? Nissan Motorsports. Dali, di ba? Under the hood, glorious V6 from Nissan. Now this is actually tuned by Nissan Motorsports. Now it has more power than the regular 370Zs with a 3.7-liter gasoline V6 that makes 344 horsepower and 371 Nm of torque. Now that engine is mated to a 7-speed automatic transmission, no turbos by the way, and all that power is sent to the rear wheels. Now you have labels here for battery and brake fluid. If malito ka pa, ewan ko na lang. For fuel economy, with a mix of city and highway driving, we were able to get 8.5 kilometers per liter. Well, that's not phenomenal, but for a sports car, that's okay. "19-inch V-spoke wheels and a massive brake roller." Siyempre, yung brake calipers mo kulay pula. Siyempre, sports car yan. As you can see, medyo manipis yung rubber niya as compared to other cars. But yeah, of course, it's a sports car. If ever you want to upgrade to a bigger set of wheels, medyo mag-iingat ka na kasi konti lang yung space niya sa wheel arch. Now, the wheels are wrapped in Dunlop GT600 tires that are meant for performance. And one thing na hindi niyo makapansin is mas malapad yung gulong sa likod kesa sa harap. Now, long hood with swoopy lines that goes from the A-pillar down to the back. What do you expect? It's a coupe. Siyempre, as a sports car, may purpose yan lahat. It has to be aerodynamic and it has to cut through air with minimal drag. Now, let's go into the details. Now, you have vertical door handle here and you have red accents on the side mirrors and down here as part of the Nismo package. There's not much character lines on the side. Actually, puro siya curves kasi curvy siya. Nga pala, see that Z badge over there? Check this out. Ang cool, di ba? Down the back, the Nismo package continues. Now you have the Nismo badge, and you have red accents here that outlines these large, massive, gargantuan, huge exhaust tips. Actually, may purpose yan, and mamaya maririnig nyo kung bakit. Now up here, you have the ducktail spoiler na parang Porsche 911. Actually, ang ganda niya tignan, especially on the sides and at the back, actually kahit saan. Another trivia, you know why it's called a 370Z? These numbers actually represent the size of the engine. Now for this car, it has 3.7 liters, and then the previous ones, you have a 3.5. Now the first one, the Fairlady Z, is actually called the Datsun 240Z in the US, and it has a 2.4-liter engine. Let's look at the trunk. Okay, you don't expect too much from a sports car, but actually for the 370Z, you have usable space. Tanggalin nyo lang yung tonneau na retract naman. Hindi siya kalakihan, pero tingin ko kasya naman yung 1 week ng grocery or gym bag, or siguro yung mga medium-sized maleta. And syempre, makikita nyo sa trunk yung spare tire, yung tools, and of course, your Bose subwoofers. Pero sa totoo lang, may extra feature to. Tingnan nyo. Bigat! Now for Z-car fans, alam nyo naman na isang dekada na itong generation ng 370Z. And it shows inside. Like you have analog gauges, you have gauges here, and then you have a semi-digital display here for your daily essentials. And kung mapapansin nyo, the infotainment is down here. Now, why is that? Back in 2009, ano na bang smartphone nun? Wala pa naman, di ba? And ang uso pa lang nun is yung mga 2-din ng mga head units na may CD player lang. Now, this touchscreen head unit here is an addition by Nissan Philippines as an aftermarket unit. Kung mapapansin nyo, nasa baba siya as opposed to the usual na nakikita nyo sa mga kotse ngayon na nasa taas. Now, what is this? This is actually a compartment. It's pretty small. It will not fit your huge phones these days. Well, you can improvise, like put it diagonally, but that's about it. Now, the Nismo package continues inside. Now, you can see that on the red Alcantara inserts on the seats and the Nismo badging on the headrest. And then, actually, gustong-gusto ko yung Alcantara inserts dito sa kotseng to, especially on the steering wheel kasi ang sarap niyang hawakan. And also, you have the red stitches and a red detail again on the push-start button. Now, for the head unit, you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now, the problem lang is yung USB port niya is nasa head unit and wala dito sa center console compartment mo. Now, what's the problem with that? Well, if kakabitan mo ng cordon dito, medyo may evade niya yung horizontal space mo. I think na-establish naman natin that sports cars aren't the most practical cars on the planet. But the 370Z has usable cup holders. Like this one, you only have one, but you can fit in like a huge bottle here. Then you have one on the doors as well, although the door pockets are small. But they're there for you to use. One minor detail that I like about this car is that when you tilt the steering wheel, the instrument cluster actually moves with it, which is kind of cool, right? And you have AC vents on the doors, something na hindi ko nakita sa ibang kotse ngayon. And by the way, behind the Recaro seats, you have ample space here for your bag and for your passengers. Now, syempre, hindi mawala on a Z car are the Z badges that you can see on the steering wheel and on the side sills. Cool. And nga pala, this car has cruise control. Problem lang is wala siyang dedicated na display. It will just tell you that it is on, but it will not show you the speed or if it's engaged. And another thing that Nissan should add, probably will be available in the next generation Z, are speed sensing door locks. Okay, so dito na tayo sa favorite part natin, of course, sports car, driving. But before tayo magsimula, first thing napansin ko is, syempre, medyo mahirap i-adjust yung upuan nitong 370Z. And that's because of the adjusters na nandito. Meron siyang tatlong knobs. Old school siya na knobs na medyo dahan-dahan siya nag-a-adjust eh. You can actually adjust yung position ng leg support mo and then yung position ng butt support mo or yung sa buttocks. Medyo mahirap siya adjust pero pag nahanap mo na yung position mo, okay na naman siya. And then another thing, driving visibility. Up front, ang ganda ng view, although medyo kakabahan ka kasi long hood siya and medyo hindi mo siya kita on the driver's seat. Then again, okay na may windows niya for front driving, medyo may blind spot lang dito, but that's fine. However, one of the problems of the 370Z is rear visibility. It's not that you drive every day backwards, but then again, when you're backing up on a parking lot or sa garahe mo, medyo limited siya kasi maliit lang yung window sa likod, wala kang rear corner window, wala kang backup camera or sensors. So that's one thing na kulang sa sasakyan na to. And malamang-lamang naman sa next generation meron na yan. It's hard to turn a blind eye on dun sa tigas ng chassis ng 370Z. After all, 10 years na naman tong chassis na to and it's actually built for track use. So, ramdam na ramdam mo yung ground and yung suspension tuning niya is set up para sa racetrack. So, you have good feedback, although di mo siya ma-appreciate when you're driving on a daily basis. The 370Z is far from being a grand tourer, meaning don't expect exceptional ride comfort, and kapag long drives, medyo kailangan mag-stop over ka along the way kasi kailangan mong ipahinga ng konting likod mo and yung utak mo kasi medyo maaalog talaga siya while you're driving. Okay, for your daily drive, sobrang wala kang hahanapin sa power delivery niya. Medyo iingat ka lang sa pag-apak mo sa linyador. Kasi sensitive siya. Although, medyo may konting delay lang when we let it shift by itself. But that's fine. Of course, it's a different story kapag sporty drive na. The 370 actually has a great throttle response. Ang ganda nung bigay ng makina sa bawat apak mo. Although when you let it shift by itself, may konting delay lang naman. But it's still enough for you to get a satisfying pull. As you enter a corner and then you're downshifting, maganda yung bigay ng makina and maganda yung shifting, hindi ka mabibitin. Siyempre, ang pinaka-favorable na trait ng 370Z is yung tight steering niya. Sa city, of course, medyo mahirap sa parking or yung sisingit-singit ka sa EDSA. Pero if sa racetrack ka or let's say nandito ka sa isang private road na pwede ka maglaro-laro, ang ganda. It inspires confidence. Ang sarap niyang ibato sa corners. And maganda pa doon dahil rigid yung chassis. You won't really feel the body roll pagka you're attacking corners at speeds. Of course, with good measure. Another thing na notable sa 370Z is yung brakes niya. Kumakagat naman kaagad and syempre, sports car, so kailangan talaga maganda yung brakes. Another thing na makapansin mo while driving the 370Z is medyo kulang yung sound insulation niya from the outside. I mean, we're driving right now at 40 kilometers per hour, pero rinig na rinig mo, especially yung gulong. Although I must say, the road isn't actually the most ideal out there. But then again, medyo maghanap ka ng konting sound deadening. On the highway, like what we are about to enter right now, medyo magpipigil ka lang ng konti. Kasi hindi mo mapapansin, maabot ka ng 100, 120. Siyempre ayaw mo namang mahuli. I mean, ayaw mo namang magkaroon sila ng dahilan para hulihin ka. Now we're on to our favorite part, the Philkotse grade. For aesthetics, nasabi ko na lahat kanina, but overall, it's a very beautiful car. And tingin ko naman mag-a-agree kayo. So for aesthetics, we're giving it a 4.5 out of 5. For performance, well, it's a sports car. It's supposed to give you power when you need it. But when you let the transmission to shift by itself, there's a slight delay, which is kind of annoying if you're in the track. But when you use the paddle shifters, that's where the fun begins. So for performance, we're giving it a 4.5 out of 5. For practicality, well, this is a sports car. You can't really expect anything practical from a two-seater coupe with a V6 engine. But as a sports car, meron din man siyang practical na mga features like bottle holders, some storage spaces, kahit medyo weird yung pwesto, pero practical pa rin. So we're giving it a 2.5 out of 5. For value for money, at 3.88 million, this car is asking too much if you ask me. But with the performance and heritage that it brings to the table, well, sulit na rin siya. But if kumuha ka nito sa gray market, you won't get the exclusive warranty that Nissan Philippines offers with the car. So for value for money, we're giving it a 3.5 out of 5. With almost perfect score in aesthetics and performance, and an average rating in terms of practicality and value for money, we're giving the 370Z Nismo a Philkotse score of 4 out of 5. With heritage and performance that goes back to the time when BGs was still a thing, is this car born to stay alive in the market? Well, in our opinion, it is. But Nissan has a problem. The next generation Z-car is up on the horizon. Actually, na-quick look na ni Stanley yung prototype na and it actually looks good. So, if you're willing to wait 5 to 10 years for the next Z-car, well, go ahead and do that. But if you're not, and you're really a fan of the Z heritage, this car is a must. Again, this is Jacob Diva, the content manager of Philkotse. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Philkotse, the country's #1 online car portal.